Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are back with The Sopranos. This is the 16th overall episode of the series, the third of season 2, Toodle-F-ing-Oo. We have here. I'm going to talk about this very briefly. If I get interrupted and I have to make a part 2, it is what it is. But yeah, today you're going to be getting this, and then you're going to be getting an NBA recap later tonight, a lot of basketball games, so we'll get into all that. But, we're going to get into what happened and then kind of talk about some things. So, Dr. Melfi becomes tipsy while dining in a restaurant with some female friends. You know, you never really see her out drinking. You never really see her out having fun. I've said this a couple of times when we've analyzed this show. She's a very much to herself character, and that's kind of what the show sets her up to be. So on the way out, she sees Tony at a table with his companions and awkwardly attempts small talk. Because they haven't seen each other in a while. Oh, crap, I gotta turn this on. Sorry. Makes the lighting a little better. I know it doesn't make that much of a difference, but, like, it's still really nice. So, yeah. So leaving, she waves and calls Toodle-Oo, which is really awkward. It is really awkward, I will say. So, the men make crude comments about her, and Tony pretends she is an old girlfriend, you know, like an old fling in, like, high school or something weird like that. Like, yeah. And it's obviously super embarrassing for her because she knows how those guys are going to react. They don't really respect women that much, so when she says shit like that, it's like, okay, she's just trying to flirt. She's kind of a slut. So, Melfi is mortified by her own behavior and acknowledges to her therapist, Dr. Elliot Kupferberg, that in order to evade her responsibility as a therapist, she behaved like a ditzy young girl. And maybe she just wanted to turn into that character. Maybe she just likes Tony as a friend. It doesn't always have to be, like, romantic when you say something like that, you know? But it was really interesting, you know, how she reacted to herself. She was very self-aware after the incident. Obviously, she was drunk, but she was still pretty conscious of what she said, you know? So, Meadow throws a party for a few friends in Olivia's house, which is very fucked up. Obviously, she's in a damn nursing home. She can't help herself. But Meadow just decides to... Meadow just decides to tarnish her house, throw a party. It's like, what the hell? So, yeah, the party spins out of control and a lot of uninvited people show up, leading to drug use and heavy drinking. And she didn't really plan for this, obviously. She just invited Hunter over, and then Hunter invited people over, then they invited people over, and it was just kind of a snowball effect. A bunch of people got invited over, and they all got fucked up, and yeah. So, the police arrive, and an officer who knows Tony contacts him. Obviously, Tony has all sorts of connections throughout the city. And yeah, that just so happens that it was a police officer this time. So Tony finds Meadow drunk and drives her home, but he and Carmela do not know how to punish her. They don't really know how to handle this. They're kind of surprised at the whole ordeal. Like, our daughter is drinking? Like, really? It's a really shocking thing for them to kind of deal with. And yeah, that's obviously a shocking thing for all parents to deal with. Like, your child is just starting to drink and they're, like, growing up and getting into adulthood. Like, this girl's about to go to college, you know? So, yeah. So she prompts them to take away her credit card for 3 weeks while still providing cash for gas. She literally tells them how to punish her, and it's a really weird, it's pretty comical. Like, it's a weird but comical thing, kind of. Because, like, why is your daughter telling you how you punish her? It's super weird, but you get sorry. You get a decent laugh out of it. I do have a cough. I am congested, if you notice it. Yeah, it is what it is. Why is my shirt so stretched the fuck out? I don't know what happened. It's a pretty old shirt. But she walks away smiling to herself. It's like one of those bratty little smiles, like, ha, gotcha. Just fooled you. So, at first, Janice defends Meadow, saying she is showing her independence, but when she sees the state of the house, she is furious. Because it affects her. It directly affects her. She's not going to get mad until things affect her. She's a pretty selfish human being, and she showed signs of that. She showed traits of that throughout the show. So Tony and Carmela tell her to stop interfering with their parenting. Like, you're here to live with us. We're here to give you, like, hospitality and shelter. You don't question any of our authority. You don't question any of our power. That's not what you're here for, you know? So, yeah. Janice says she ought to leave, but she and Carmela reconcile, and she's persuaded to continue to stay at the house. Like, they don't mind her there. She's a pretty nice person. Obviously, she has some pretty formidable traits that no one really likes about her, but she's a nice woman. They want her to stay there. So she does. Meadow overhears their argument, and when Tony goes to the house to have the locks changed, he finds her scrubbing the floor. Like, she realizes how much of a dent she kind of put there and how, like, badly she kind of affected the dynamic of the family there. So she took responsibility for it, and really good on Meadow here for doing that, obviously. He turns away perplexed by this remorse. He's like, wow, my daughter really did that. It's like a proud father moment. He's kind of in shock, but at the same time, he's like really proud of his daughter for taking responsibility. So yeah, Jackie April's older brother Richie is released after 10 years imprisonment, and this is really interesting. He's a really interesting character, and this might set up for some things in this season.